it's René Banglesdorf. I'll be your host for the next little bit while we talk about the Falcon 2000EX EZ, one of the most Googled airplanes there is because it's amazing. And here to talk about the Falcon 2000 with me is a friend of mine who works for Dassault, Pauline Annen. She is a pilot advocate and answers all sorts of questions for pilots all the time. So now as a pilot, I'm turning the tables and making her answer questions for me. Pauline, could you explain to me a little bit about the evolution of the Falcon 2000 brand? Because it started out just with the Falcon, and now you fly the Falcon 2000EX EZ, which has had some improvements. So can you walk me through a little bit of the evolution of that product?
Absolutely. So we started with the 2000 Classic, which proved itself to be a very reliable aircraft and outstanding performance, and already packed with technology because it was built with, the Dassault fighter DNA, if you will. And then beyond that, we took this already phenomenal platform and we continue to make it better over the years by adding improvements both inside and out. So on the inside, you're looking at improvements like the Easy Cockpit, which really introduced a new philosophy on how to look at the interface between the crew and the cockpit, really creating an interactive, intuitive CRM building avionics package. And then on the outside, we improved the engines and we added winglets and inboard slats, all creating this even better enhanced runway performance that's unrivaled with any other aircraft in its class, making it a really mission flexible airframe. So really just over the years, we took this already great aircraft and we just continued to improve on it. And that leads us to the 2000 LXS that we have in production today.
Well, that is definitely the party line. So I'm going to get into some nitty gritty and find out the real scoop on this airplane from you. What is the best thing about flying a Falcon 2000?
Oh, the best thing. Well, there are a lot of really great aspects about it.
Okay, top one.
Top one, I'm going to say it's the mission flexibility that it offers. It's such a high performance aircraft. You can literally land at 90% your takeoff weight. So that offers you the ability to do these like short hops and go where any other large cabin business jet might not be able to. So with the range it offers, up to 4,000 nautical miles, you can easily do coast to coast in the domestic United States, or you can do these short hops and not have to refuel and still have all of that range left over. So I would have to say it's definitely the mission flexibility and that feeling knowing that, you can essentially go almost anywhere that would normally only be reserved for the smaller business jets.
That's a great answer. Good job. I knew I needed to put you on the spot with something. Hey, Pauline, what are some questions that pilots ask you about the plane? I know we spoke a little bit before we started that they ask about international operations and some things like that. What are the kinds of questions that you field on a regular basis?
Well, we do get a wide variety of questions, but as we talked about, yes, there is a lot of questions related to upcoming mandates that might affect the operations internationally, because that's something that the pilots really need a resource and to dive into, because it's not easy information to find always. But we also get a lot of questions regarding the design of the aircraft, and that's where we really like to take it the extra step and help them understand, the avionics logic and why the aircraft is behaving a certain way, really bringing them a little bit closer to the airframe and allowing them to optimize the use of all the features of the avionics. So it really ranges.
Well, talk to me about the fuel burn and the performance. I know you told me a little bit about the range, but talk about the ceiling and talk about climb and all those fun things that pilots geek out about.
Well, there's a lot to say with regards to the 2000. You've got, like I said, up to 4,000 nautical mile range. And I think where it shines is its fuel efficiency, which is 20% better than any other aircraft in its class. So it's definitely extremely fuel efficient.
So 20% better than, say, what model? Like, what's the model that is your closest competitor?
I would say a few of the Gulfstream models are close competitors to the 2000. And we do have some competition as well with Bombardier and Embraer. However, I would say mostly the Gulfstreams and the Cessnas as well that would compete with it. But I can say from a fuel efficiency standpoint, it is leading in its class for sure. And that is what gives it that, that extra range, and also the runway performance is unrivaled. So as I touched upon earlier, you've really got this ability to land and take off at those smaller airfields. And just to kind of paint a picture here, is you can essentially take this aircraft fully loaded into Mackinac Island and have room to spare on their 3,500-foot runway. So
that is astounding. That is
incredible. And you've got a max takeoff weight of 42,800 pounds. So there's definitely room to pack on there and fly your friends, your family as far as you want to go and do those hops. It's just a phenomenal aircraft.
Gosh, I have so many questions. I wanted to ask you about taking off from that 3,500-foot runway. Is that you can still take off full?
Yes, absolutely. Fully loaded and have room to spare. That's actually something that we have proven we can do out of Mackinac Island.
With the dog on board too.
With the dog on board as well.
So let's talk then a little bit about the creature comforts of the Falcon 2000. So tell me about standing room, about comfort in the cabin. I'm going to ask about the lav and the luggage, but we can start with, can we stand up? And how tall can we be and still stand up?
This is considered a wide body business jet, so you definitely can stand. There's plenty of room. I myself at 5'7" have no issue, but I have met many taller gentlemen that also have no issue. And that's something that people actually remark on, is that where you might expect to have to hunch over in this aircraft, it's really a lot of headspace. So.
Okay, and then luggage or lav, which do you want to tackle next?
Let's tackle luggage. So luggage, you've got up to 1,600 pounds, and you can actually access it from the cabin, which is a great feature because if you forgot something in your bag that you tossed back there, you can actually go there during your flight and grab out your computer that you left back there. So I think that's a pretty neat feature.
And then how about loading the luggage onto the plane? What's that experience like?
So loading the luggage is not a big deal, as you've got a pretty nice large size baggage door with steps in it. I haven't heard anyone complain about that.
And can you open it from the inside and the outside of the airplane?
Yes, so that's what I meant by you can access it in flight, is it can be opened both inside and outside. And of course you can open it inside during the flight.
Great. And then, okay, so tell me about the lav and the galley. Lav, then galley.
The lav is, as I think it's a beautiful lav. There's space in there. There's the option to even include a forward lav if you wanted a smaller galley and you didn't want to be disturbed by the crew members if they have to use the lav. There is that option. We don't see that as often just because a lot of people prefer the larger galley. But it just goes to show you do have multiple configurations available to you as an operator. So you can really customize the aircraft to suit your personal needs and make it your own.
And then what comments do you hear from your flight attendants about the galley?
I haven't heard too many negative comments. You know, they are professionals at what they do, and so they make it work. But I do think that they appreciate the larger galley, of course, as anyone appreciates the extra room. There's lots of storage space as well, so there really isn't a lack of places to put what you're going to need to cater the flight.
Great. So tell me, we talked a little bit about, well, we talked a lot about range and we talked about landing. Talk to me about taking off and what that experience is like. And I remembered what I was going to ask you earlier, which is, do winglets really make a difference?
They do actually. They do make a difference. So they actually improve climb performance and reduce the aerodynamic drag. So you can actually get up to 5% more range out of those winglets. So they actually do make a difference. It's pretty incredible when you think about it. Such a small addition, in addition to adding, of course, the ramp appeal, giving you that extra boost in performance as well.
There is. So tell me about climb. With or without winglets?
Well, we can talk about it with or without. It's a pretty great climb rate. We're seeing on average 35 to 4,500 feet per minute for your average flight. Of course, there's plenty of variables with that, you know, how loaded the aircraft is, but I haven't heard very many people complain about the climb performance because it is like the sports car of our fleet. If anything, I would say it surprises people how quickly it climbs, which is a great feature and a great aspect of the aircraft, because the whole goal is to get as far away from the ground as possible, as quickly as possible anyways. So
right, getting around the weather. Let's talk maybe just a little bit about city pairs that you commonly see people take this aircraft, or where you see the concentration of clients who own a Falcon 2000. Where's it most popular?
I would have to say it's most popular in North America. That's where we have the majority of the 2000s. And I think that's because of the fact that really this aircraft is perfectly built for those types of flights, the short hops, and then of course that 4,000 nautical mile range to take you coast to coast. So I would say it's very popular in North America, and just again, the landing performance, the mission flexibility, the steep approach capabilities to take you into those high elevation airfields like Aspen. You really have this phenomenal runway airfield performance, giving you that flexibility to go wherever you'd like.
Okay, so what's the favorite airport that you've ever landed in a Falcon 2000?
I would have to say landing in, I've had some great experiences landing in Waco, Texas, which sounds really random, but I was fortunate enough to get to deliver a couple greenies, so some green aircraft that were unfinished, to a customer there. And so that was pretty special, just in the fact that, you know, we had a good welcoming party, and there's always seems to be animals about there, which you would think in a desert land wouldn't be as prevalent, but I would say that has to be my favorite, latest airport to land at with 2000.
Okay, well, that's about 45 minutes north of me here in Austin, so you should have just flown here.
It must not be far away from you.
Great. Well, are there any special skills or idiosyncrasies that we need to know about as an operator or a buyer of a Falcon 2000EX EZ?
Special skills, I would just say a heart for flying, because the training that is in place is phenomenal for learning how to handle the EZ platform. And once you really know the ins and outs, it's so intuitive that it's a great platform to fly. And idiosyncrasies, I would say there's about 5 different ways to do anything in the cockpit, which is really great. And once you know all of those 5 different ways, it really adds to the versatility and allowing you to do things and customize it to your operation and tailor it to what you need to do. So I would say for anyone who is looking for, an aircraft that's packed with technology, great reliability, great performance, I wouldn't hesitate. It's also a very comfortable aircraft.
Well, it sounds like it. So does the Easy platform translate across any of the other Falcon products?
Absolutely, yes.
Which other birds is it in?
So the 900 LX, 900EX Easy series, that's all Easy 2 avionics, and then our 2000 is Easy 2, and the 7X as well is Easy 2. And then once you go into our 8X, that's Easy 3, which builds upon the building blocks of Easy 2. So it's only subtle differences. And so once you really are trained on the Easy platform, it's very easy to transition between the aircraft. In fact, our demo pilots do it seamlessly day to day.
Fantastic. Okay, so thank you so much, Pauline, for joining me and telling me all about the Falcon 2000 today. I am going to give people the opportunity to hear where they can send you questions if they have questions about the Falcon 2000. Can you share your email address or the sales email address where people can email questions?
Absolutely. So you can reach me at our general Falcon pilot at Dassault-aviation.com email address. That is our team email for any operational questions. And then we'll be certain to put you in touch with any of the salesmen that would be most relevant to your region, because they are by region. So you can start there, and I can always be reached on LinkedIn or at Pauline.Annen, my last name, at falconjet.com.
Thank you so much.